yield to the ranking member.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. 30 years ago, the United States brokered the Dayton Peace Accords, ending the bloodshed of the Bosnian War, and I appreciate the subcommittee's focus on the Western Balkans and such an important anniversary. As we know, Dayton continues to underpin Bosnia's sovereignty, territorial integrity, and multi-ethnic character, and I believe the U.S. must continue to support it as an important instrument to supporting Bosnia's future. This includes the OHR, the Office of the High Representative, and while the OHR deserves criticism, the removal or weakening of this position would only embolden separatist actors across Bosnia at a time of increased tension and threats in the region. As a part of the efforts to maintain regional stability in September, I reintroduced the bipartisan Western Balkans Democracy and Prosperity Act to codify sanctions in the bad actors in the region and expand people and the people-to-people ties that exist. I'm hopeful this legislation will be incorporated into the upcoming Defense Authorization Act, and I appreciate my colleagues on both sides of the aisle and in both chambers for their support. Unfortunately, officials in power in Bosnia continue to use their discontent with the decisions of OHR to stoke separatist rhetoric, which undermines the Dayton Accords. That's why I sent a letter recently to Secretary Rubio, along with Ranking Member Meeks, expressing our disagreement with the administration's decision to remove all sanctions on Milorad Dodik, his family, and his affiliates, who have demonstrated little willingness to change their behavior in Republika Srpska. By removing all sanctions on Dodik, the Trump administration has lost their leverage. Dodik may no longer be president of Republika Srpska, but he's clearly still a power, and I urge this administration to reverse course and reinstate costs on Dodik for his ongoing disruptive behavior. Just as the Trump administration should be more engaged in supporting Dayton in Bosnia, I believe the administration must take a broader view of the bilateral relationship with Serbia. For years now, Serbia's President Vučić has eroded the rule of law and strengthened his country's relationship with Russia and China. Rather than condemn Belgrade's actions, the Trump administration has embraced Vučić, rewarded his malign relationships with Beijing and Moscow by upgrading the U.S.-Serbia bilateral relationship. As a result, I led a letter with all Democratic members of this subcommittee earlier this year to Secretary Rubio, calling on him to prioritize the strengthening of anti-corruption and rule of law regimes in Serbia, as well as make clear to Belgrade that pursuing closer ties with Moscow and Beijing is not compatible with Serbia's stated aspirations to be fully incorporated into the transatlantic community. Yet rather than take anti-corruption efforts seriously, this administration has used the White House to enrich its friends and families. Just last month, Serbian officials approved legislation to allow Jared Kushner to develop a former defense ministry building in Serbia into a hotel resort, with Serbian parliamentarians openly saying they approved the legislation to make inroads with this U.S. administration. I wholeheartedly condemn President Trump's family and friends using the White House to further their own private business dealings, not only in Serbia, but also in Russia and in crypto markets around the world. Taking a step back, I believe the resolution of many regional conflicts and increased U.S. engagement in the Western Balkans would move all countries in the region closer to EU membership. This includes further progress in the EU-brokered dialogue between Serbia and Kosovo. And I call on leaders in both countries to take the initiative and cease inflammatory rhetoric. I also call on the Trump administration to reassure allies and partners in the region that the U.S. will remain engaged and committed to the region's future. This includes maintaining a U.S. military presence in NATO's peacekeeping mission, KFOR, and fully implementing the Millennium Challenge Corporation Compact in Kosovo to expand energy security. I was proud to facilitate the signing of that compact in this very room in 2022, and I appreciate the administration continuing the program. It also means the administration should continue to support cybersecurity efforts in Albania and elsewhere, as well as ensure countries like Montenegro, North Macedonia, and others are well prepared to join the European Union. In closing, I appreciate our witnesses being here today to discuss the importance of U.S. engagement in the Western Balkans, yet I remain concerned this subcommittee has yet to have a hearing, any hearing, with a Trump administration official after almost 1 year in office. And I'd urge the majority to call on the administration as witnesses before the subcommittee so we can conduct the subcommittee's oversight responsibilities of this administration's policy towards Europe is a unity. With that, I yield back.